Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural Big Beef'N podcast. I don't know what I'm doing, so we're just trying to get this thing started. Basically, I'm Shane Rollins. I have a podcast channel called Big Beef'N that I co-host with my brother a-ren and my good friend John. And we've been doing it for about 2 months now. We started at the new year, and John has suggested that we try to give our hand at doing a video feed. So I've been kind of looking online for inspiration, examples of people that are doing it. My biggest inspiration right now is Joe Rogan. I mean, I'm not anywhere near his level, but that's just somebody that I look up to as far as like podcasts goes, because he's always questioning things, and he does subjects that I think are interesting. So he's been a big part of it. But then the one that made me start doing it was there's this. That was probably about 3 or 4 years ago. I was looking online to try to figure out how to do like accents and trying to, just for comedy reasons, funny accent. And also to help with this, web series that I was developing, that you can also find on YouTube. It's called The Chalice, and that's what I'm under Instagram as. Anyways, what the plan was is I was going to use different accents to kind of, spice up things and make things interesting. Well, one of the accents that I came across was a Scottish one, and there's this chick online. It's on YouTube. Name is Beauty Creep, Scottish chick, and she does these accents, and so you get to see what Scotland's people sound like, other than listening to Braveheart, which was an Australian using an accent, or the Highlander, which I think was a Belgian. I think what's his name? What's that one guy's name? The older guy in Braveheart. Sean Connery. He's Scottish, right? So anyways, aside from that, where do you go to learn how to do that? I can do Irish pretty well. Irish is an easy one. Hi, laddie. Just hi. Top of the morning to you. How you doing over there? That one's really easy. But Scotland took me a little while. And you can do like the low-class British one where it's like, "Oi, what you working on over there?" I know that's bad, but you know what I mean. Anyways, she does a lot of other stuff too. Not only the accents, now she does like relationship stuff and what she's doing with her friends and all that kind of business. It's entertaining. Beauty Creep, that's who it's called. You just check out Beauty Creep on YouTube. And basically what I'm going to do today is just get the listeners out there a chance to know me. First of all, you're seeing me for maybe the first time. You may be thinking, wow, this guy's, I don't know what you'd be thinking. Had to shut the door. So yeah, we're just gonna let you get to know me. So what I thought I would do is, actually, I got this inspiration from Beauty Creep, where she did this TMI questionnaire thing where you answer 50 questions. So that way the audience gets to know you. I mean, if you listen to my Big Beef'N channel, you'll pretty much get a good idea about where I'm coming from. Grew up in East Texas, lived in Texas my whole life. I've done some traveling in the U.S., but I actually hadn't went anywhere outside the country. So anyways, we'll get started on this challenge. All right, what are you currently wearing? Well, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I got a Shazam t-shirt on. Shazam's one of my favorite superheroes. He kind of goes back and forth between him and Batman, which with the movie coming out, I'm probably going to be more in a Shazam phase here coming up. And then I got just, Levi blue jeans on. Have you ever been in love? Yeah, a few times. I'm currently in love with my wife right now. We're coming up on a 10-year wedding anniversary. So we got a kid together and things are going great. Have you ever had a terrible breakup? Yes. I had a chick that, so the first person I really fell in love with, that one was bad for me. I don't think for her. I don't think she cared. Well, I mean, she did. She called the radio station. They played like one of those Linkin Park songs, "Numb." So it was messy because we were in love, and just where we were at, relationship-wise, wasn't very good. And then the one after that, Emily. Oh, I'm gonna have to edit out that name. We'll just do a bleep or something. Anyway, she. That one ended pretty bad. That one, I actually was the one that ended things. And what I did was when she went to work, I packed up all my belongings and left. That's a story for another day. It's very long, complicated than that. But that was a mess. How old are you? 35? Oh, okay. 35, born in 83. How tall are you? 6'4"? How much do you weigh? Right now, I'm at 288. I've been actually doing a weight loss challenge for the last few months. I started back in September, and at that time, I was around 320, and so now I'm down to 288, and I'm trying to get a pound a week. It's what my doctor said would be a good goal, and so far, it's been working. Been keeping the weight off. What I did was Joe Rogan calls it intermittent fasting, and I try to increase my protein intake and get rid of the sugars. So I haven't drank soda in probably a month. I'd still have one every now and then, but if I do drink a soda, it's one soda and it's like for the whole week. You don't drink another one. One soda a day isn't necessarily bad for you. Just like a beer or two a day isn't bad for you. So yeah, 288. Do you have any piercings? Nope. Do you have any tattoos? No, but I want to get one. But the problem is, I want a tattoo to be original. I want it to be my own thing, but I can't draw worth a crap. So I don't know how that's ever going to happen. It would have to be some characters that I created. But I don't know. My wife's got a couple of them. My sister's got one. My brother's got one. I guess I'm the only, some left that didn't have any. What's your favorite drink? Well, I guess if you're talking about an adult drink, right now, this stuff right here is blowing me away. Yingling Lager. I've been a Shiner man pretty much since I was in college. I got introduced to Shiner when I was, going around in the drinking scene back then. But a friend of mine said, you got to try this from the oldest brewery in America. And man, just consistent. I mean, it's just really good. It's just a really solid beer. And if you're talking about soft drink, I mean, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew too. I like that one also. And then alcohol, I guess what I've drank the most is vodka. What's your favorite song? Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. Badass song. Came out the year I was born, I think, or somewhere around that time. Anyways, been rocking out to it since I was a little kid. What's your zodiac sign? I'm a Scorpio, so I'm mysterious and narcissistic, apparently. Whatever. I definitely hold grudges, so that works. How long does it take you to shower? I try not to spend any more than 10 minutes in there. Get in, get out. Probably average clock time's about 7 minutes total. So I do it quick. I just get all the stuff, scrub everything down, rinse off, and we're done. What's your favorite show? Like of all time? I mean, Game of Thrones is a pretty damn good one. It's kind of hard for me to think of, it seems like there's been shows that's come out, and sometimes they top each other. Game of Thrones consistently has been a good one. And just because the way they did their battles the last season, the Battle of the Bastards, it's gonna have to be Game of Thrones. My favorite one. I do like a lot of superhero shows right now, like Doom Patrol and Titans. Those are also really good. And then you got the Arrow, Flash, Black Lightning, Legends of Tomorrow. Those are all good shows. Supergirl is really good. So just things like that. Something you really miss. Oh no, I skipped one. Oh, we'll come back to it. Something you really miss. What I really miss. Oh, I had this. Oh, I really miss. I don't know if I really miss anything. I don't know. That's a good question. What do I miss? I don't think there's anything. Live a pretty fulfilled life. If there was something I was wanting, I'd go back to it. I guess I miss when the world wasn't always bitter and arguing stuff online and all that crap. What's your favorite bands? AC/DC. I mean, it's between them and Black Sabbath. I mean, AC/DC and it's probably AC/DC because you can have fun with their songs. Not only are you rocking out, you're just having a good time. Black Sabbath's kind of a downer on some of it, like War Pigs. It's like, oh, death and destruction, hatred of mankind. But AC/DC's like, nah, 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 nah. Anyways, that's my AC/DC impersonation. Where do you go when you're sad? I don't get sad very often. I'm a pretty upbeat person. Not necessarily that I'm always optimistic. I'm just really neutral. Like even my grandma when I was a kid said, you just let him alone and he'll be fine. And that's true. I mean, I chill. I don't get super excited. I don't get super sad. So there you go. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning? It depends. I mean, 20 minutes maybe, 20, 30 minutes. I'm usually out the door within 30 minutes. Waking up, it's usually about 30 minutes. Have you ever been in a physical fight? Yeah, I've been in a few of them. The ones that anybody remembers though is the one that I did not win. That's the only one that people seem to remember for some reason. I have actually kicked some ass before. Not that I'm saying that fighting's a good thing. I mean, if you've been in a fight, you know it's better to avoid them if you can. But yeah, I have been in one. I mean, I'm a big guy, so a lot of people don't really challenge me. But I've had fights, and some of them went my way, and some of them did not. And everybody out there who knows the one that didn't is probably saying, "Oh yeah, I can tell you, not all of them do." What turns you on? Um, uh, well, I mean, I guess that's a kind of an intimate question. Um, just being into me. My wife, if she's into things and things are getting heated up, then that usually helps. It's just setting the atmosphere. What turns you off? Oh, doing that kind of stuff after you've eaten a full meal. I'm just not into it. I'm full. I need a second to just digest. I'm not one of those. A lot of people, there's this chemical reaction in your brain. Dopamine goes up whenever you eat, and then like if you have sex afterwards or something like that, the dopamine it continues to rush. I don't get that. When I get done eating, I'm like, ugh. Like maybe the first bite I get a little bit of the dopamine, but once I'm full, I do not get that elated feeling. I get like disgusting. Um, Quality you look for in a partner. Well, I mean, I've had my partner for more than 10 years. We've been married for 10 years, but we've been together for about 14. And basically, she just likes the same things that I do. She's a gamer like me. She tolerates me. It's respectful. I'm not stressed out. We don't argue. Um, so it's a pretty good deal. What's your favorite color? I like purple right now. It used to be green when I was a kid, but too many people are liking green nowadays, so I switched to purple. Loud music or soft? Loud all the way. Crank it up. Hey, Ruby. I know you want me to pay attention to you. Favorite quote? Always liked the Batman quote, "The night is darkest just before the dawn." I don't think Batman actually said that. I think Two-Face said that, Aaron Eckhart. Um, I also like that one in Batman vs Superman where Batman's like, "Do you bleed? You will." That's a good one. Favorite actor? Oh, if I had Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, it's just I can't think of. There's only like one of his movies I didn't like. That one where he's a mob gangster. I didn't like that one. Raw Deal. All the rest of them I thought were great. The reason you joined YouTube, just for fun. I actually initially joined to show my action figure pics. I used to do photos back when we, used to call it articulated comic book art or ACBA. Was real big into that when it first started about 10 years ago. So I used to post videos up like to tie into that. And then also got real active in it when I was uploading the Chalice stuff. And now I just watch it. I usually watch it for my lunch break. I watch Joe Rogan. Karate Kid or Cobra Kai was also a good YouTube show. Do you have any fears? What they are? Uh, well, I don't say I have any fears per se. There's times where I could like not feel comfortable. Like if I saw a snake moving towards me or an alligator, that might make me jump. But I don't have an inherent fear of like snakes or alligators or the unknown. I used to get night terrors, and that was kind of a weird thing. But I always woke up fine afterwards. Night terrors is just a psychological thing when you're under a lot of stress. It creates this pressure in your chest. It just gives you some weird experiences while you're sleeping. What's the last thing that made you cry? I think it was an episode of The Flash when his daughter, if the Flash looks like he's dead and his daughter's trying to save him, and In Excess is her name, her superhero name, and she starts crying, and now that I got a kid, it's so hard to keep it up. Emotions are just. Whew. Meaning behind your YouTube name. Okay, so Garfonzo came out when I was in high school. We had this teacher who was a genius, our chemistry teacher, and there was a kid in class, and his last name was Rodriguez. But for some reason, the teacher could never remember his name, so he would always call him Ramirez or Gonzalez or something like that. And then he kept calling his name wrong, so it ended up being this running gag. Every time the kid got called on, it was the wrong name. So one day we were talking, and we were kind of giving the kid a hard time about some stuff. We were talking noise, and one of my friends says, "Whatever, Garfonzo." and it was just I couldn't stop laughing. It was just the funniest thing. It's the way he said it in anger. It's just such a weird word, came out of nowhere. And he said that it was a mixture. He was thinking of the Fonz and Garfield and Zorro, and like it all came together. And because he kept calling him Garcia, so it was like Garfield, but instead it came Garfonzo. Like it was just hilarious. It was just, and so I've kept the name because it's easy for like passwords and stuff. Well, that's probably stupid for me to say that. It's just an easy thing to remember for login IDs, not passwords. So it's just an easy way to remember things. And then the Chalice is the name of the movie that I created, the web series that if you watch it on YouTube if you want to. It's yeah, it is what it is. It looked good on paper. We had good music and good costumes. We did not have the best actors or the best production or the best editing, even though I spent a year editing that thing. And Big Beef'N is basically when we were kids, me and my brother, we just would say weird words, and one of them would be like, "Oh, he's over there beefing it," and it doesn't mean anything. It just means being stupid or being silly. And so Big Beef'N, now beefing in the modern sense means like you have a disagreement with somebody, or it's not like a serious disagreement. It's just a beef. It's an issue, and it's not big issues. But actually, now that I think about it, that probably would be better if it was big issues. Anyways, Big Beef'N. Last time you said you loved someone. I told my wife I loved her this morning before she went off to work. Last book you read. Like a real novel was the last Game of Thrones book. I can't remember if it's Dance with Storms or something like that. Really good book. I really liked it. I've been reading a Conan novel and a book called The Dwarves right now, but I haven't finished either one of those. I read a lot of comic books. I've been reading the Batman Rebirth series. Okay. Oh, book you're currently reading. Yeah, so I'm reading Conan the Barbarian and this book called The Dwarves. I'm about halfway. The reason why I kind of have been putting off and on the Dwarves, like the Dwarves got like a video game made after it, and oh no, Ready Player One was the last book I read. Yeah, I read that right before the movie came out, so I wanted to be up to date on it. So Ready Player One, last book I read, and I'm reading Dwarves right now. And the thing is, it's like, man, I feel like the book that I wrote is better than Dwarves, like just for me, even though it's not written better because my editing's terrible. But yeah, Dwarves. Last show you watched, we watched Dragon Ball Super this morning. As far as live action show, it was Doom Patrol on DC Universe. Very good show. Highly recommend it. Oh, and I've been watching The Widow on Amazon Prime with Kate Beckinsale. I like Kate Beckinsale, so that's why I've been watching it. Last place you were. Yesterday, where did we go? Yesterday was Saturday. I don't think I went anywhere Saturday. Friday, I went out to eat at this Mexican restaurant, Fresco's in Burleson. Really good. Good food. Had a good steak. Last sport you played, like a real sport, would have been paintball, and it's been a couple years. Paintball's pretty much the only like real physical sport that I play. Yeah, so paintball. Like for real sport, like being a part of team though, hasn't been since I was in high school playing football. I mean, that was it, high school football. So, who's the last person you talked to? Sarah. Talked to her before she went to work. My wife. I probably have to take out her name. Just my wife. Last song you sang? Last one that I sang, I think was on my Big Beef'N podcast. It was a song I wrote titled The House of Shane. It's pretty ridiculous. Check out the Big Beef'N sing-along episode. It's my most listened to episode by far, for obvious reasons. The singing is terrible. Or great, depending on what you like. Favorite chat up line. So I guess a chat up's like when you're hitting on somebody. I've heard some good ones. Well, what was the one that I've heard recently? I can't remember. I mean, the old school ones, did it hurt when you fell from heaven? I know that's dumb. Do you have a crush? Um, well, I love my wife. So, and aside from that, like a Hollywood crush. I mean, there's a few of them. I like. I think Kate Beckinsale's pretty. Eva Longoria. I also like the funny chicks like Melissa McCarthy. I think she's good. Charlize Theron. There's some models like Ashley Graham. So yeah. Um, oh, there was a teacher in middle school that I had a crush on. So relationship between you and the person you last texted. My good friend John. We were actually talking about doing this. So this is our inaugural episode. Hopefully next week you see all of us together. Favorite food? Ribeye. Well done. No, no, not well done. What am I saying? Ribeye medium. Ugh. Well done. No, a ribeye medium. I'm just gonna come back and edit that part out. So all you're gonna hear is, oh, ribeye medium. Place you want to visit? I'd like to go to Asia, like Hong Kong or Japan, just because it's just so interesting over there. I'd just like to see that part of the world. Last time you kissed someone? I kissed Sarah last night before we went to bed. Or no, right before she left to go to work. Last time you were insulted? Like for real insulted? I mean, like teasingly insulted. I get it quite a bit at work because I'm kind of a jokester. I guess it would have to say there was a speech where I was getting my 10-year award, and they were saying, they were reading off, these lines of things that I've done, and they're like, "Is that really you? I think this is somebody else." Just kind of a joke thing, but like a real insult. I mean, I'm sure it's been a while, not since I was like a kid or teenager. I haven't gotten any as an adult. I guess I'm online where people say I'm an idiot because of my political views. I tend to swing towards libertarian, so socially liberal, fiscally responsible. That's gotten me into some hot water. Favorite flavor of sweet? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Sweet. Oh, oh. Honey, like honey. Yeah. Or cherry. No, cherry. Cherry's favorite flavor. Sweet cherry. Yeah, cherry. What instrument do you play? None. Don't play any instrument. I can whistle. Try playing the trombone. I was in grade school, but I was terrible at it. So bad that the band teacher was just like, "This isn't working." Favorite piece of jewelry, wedding band, and a ring that I got from my aunt. It belonged to my Uncle Roger, who my kid's named after. All right. Have you ever used it? Yeah, wear them every day. Last time you hung out with anyone? Me and a coworker, good friend of mine, went to lunch probably about a week or two ago. Had a good time. And who should answer these questions next? Tag them. Well, I guess the rest of the cast of Big Beef, and if they get a chance, they can record their questions and send it to me, and we'll post them up here so that way you get to know all of us. Be prepared, though. My brother's is probably going to be a little bit lengthy, and John's will probably be quite hilarious. He tends to be funny. So mine, I know, was just pretty much straightforward, things that I like. Anyways, this is, like I said, the first episode of Big Beef'N. Hopefully many more to come. We're going to try to shoot for once a week. It's going to be difficult because I got a vacation coming up. But we're going to try to just be more of a presence online and just be more involved and interactive with our fans, and just build up our podcast. I just like talking about stuff. I like superheroes, and it's kind of a niche thing. I mean, a lot of people like it. It's very popular nowadays. But some of the point of views on things get on my nerves, and I just, anyways, I tend to, it's a long story, but anyways, thanks for checking in, Big Beef'N, and I hope to see, hopefully more content comes up soon. If you want to check us out on Anchor or iTunes or Google Podcast, it's Big Beef'N, BIGBEEF apostrophe N. You can just type in Big Beef'N, and you'll find it. It's all over the place, no problem. And look forward to having you. And if you got questions, if anybody's got anything they want to say, drop it below. I know I'm gonna get some crap because it's my first one and I don't know what I'm doing, but that's fine. The more we got to start somewhere. So thanks everybody for checking us out, and we'll see you again.